Hey, back again, another episode of Behind the Panel. Very excited. My guest today really needs no introduction. If you've been to any of our E4s, if you've been to Infocomm, you have seen her bouncing around somewhere. Tons of energy. Just one of my favorite people to talk to in the industry. Please welcome Alesia Hendley. Glad you could carve a little time out and come in today.
Hey, happy to join you. Good to see you.
Very good to see you. Very good to see you. Getting right into it, I looked at a little bit of your background. I see you have an audio background, which is extremely cool. I kind of fell into this industry a long time ago. Tell me a little bit of how you got into Pro AV, how you entered the space, what kind of drew you to it?
Yeah. I mean, same here. That's part of the problem is that there's no traditional path into this space. We all just find our way here. But that's exactly what happened to me. I started, running sound when I was about 12, 13 years old in my dad's church. And that was really the start of it. Over time, people started coming to see what we were doing, and it led to consulting. Then eventually I moved from Connecticut down to Houston, Texas, and it was a completely different ball game, right? You could fit Connecticut inside of Houston probably a couple of times. So it was like, well, what am I supposed to do in this new big city? How do I showcase my skills? And it was rough. So I ended up going to trade school, an audio engineering trade school, to try and create more opportunities for myself. After that trade program, you get your certification in audio engineering, which then led me to more of like the hotel sector, load-ins, load-outs, set up stages, set up audio, set up lights, whatever, do your grunt work, pay your dues. And then I finally got to touch a board. So I got me back in front of a mixing console, mixing shows and, running events. So that was amazing. And eventually after doing that for a while, going from each corner of the city of Houston, loading up and loading out, I found an internal position that was more in-house. Basically, I worked for a school district, K through 12, but that multi-purpose facility, it was huge. It was built for all of the schools to come and do prom, football games, graduations, theater project, you name it. They use it for everything. So there was a conference center, arena, theater, and a stadium all under one roof, and that was fun. But what I realized was, all right, I hit a pay gap. I hit that pay gap, and I was never going to be my boss. I didn't feel like I was going to be my boss in a reasonable time frame, and that's what led me to find the world of Infocomm. And I was like, oh man, instead of operating, digital signage and audio consoles and all kinds of stuff, lights, microphones, I could actually work for the company who makes them. And that's when the light bulb kind of clicked on. And I was like, well, how do I compete? How do I compete with this, right? I don't have a degree. People don't know me from anywhere. So I started making content, and now it's a full-fledged thing. I'm everywhere making content. So I'm excited.
It's a great story. And again, when I said it before, I mean it. Your energy is amazing. It's contagious. Whenever you do come into a place, you really kind of take it over, and please don't ever lose that, because it's something that's pretty unique in this day and age too. It's just, to me, what struck me is, I'm not going to shock the world here, but I'm kind of old. So to see younger people like yourself kind of coming into the industry with just great energy is really amazing. And I'd love to talk a little bit more about your technical background, because you kind of did it backwards. Most people come into the industry, like whether it's a sales role or something else, and then they go get their CTS, then they get the technical stuff. But you came in first. So to have that as your ground floor, has that made, you can sling lingo with the best of them. I'm sure you and Tom Kerr can have the nerdiest conversations in the world at some party for it. But how has that helped you, having the strong technical background?
It's been everything. It's been my foundation. And that's part of the reason a lot of people have expected me to be full-fledged marketing by now. They're like, why aren't you just doing this full-time? And I'm like, man, that's what separated me from the beginning, is that I was able to leverage my technical background. I wasn't just, somebody coming into the space asking questions or random questions or talking about product that I didn't know about. I was using that product day in and day out. And that's what separated me when it came to storytelling about those different pieces of hardware or technical solutions. And it's what keeps it interesting, right? It keeps my finger on the pulse, and like even today, working for a manufacturer is exciting. It keeps that access to the technology, right? And being able to speak
Yeah.
to it from a standpoint of a technical background, and then adding in the branding, adding in the content, and then adding in all the other pieces that go together to help build relationships and actually let other end users know why this actually helps them, opposed to just selling. So it's fun.
What what has changed in the industry since you've been involved in it? What, any big changes that came into place?
Changes. I mean, we finally stopped arguing about AV over IP. I mean, I was like, man, I was like, how long is this thing gonna last? I mean, it's already happening. Like I was, when I first got into space, we were already using Dante throughout the facility. We were using NDI. I saw like the transition from CobraNet into those newer models of AV over IP. And that debate went on for so long. I think we're finally starting to actually embrace it, or maybe not. I don't know, depending on who you're talking to. But I'm just finally happy that people are starting to embrace it.
I, for me, I mean, the latency issues alone, not using it. I don't know if you could tell, but I am from Buffalo, so being in the where the Sabres play hockey. If you ever go into the suite area, they have the TVs that have the displays on, but
Yep.
they are a full 15 seconds behind what's happening on the ice. So they really need to get their tech people to understand what AV over IP means, so that they can
Yeah,
get that done there as well.
slowly but surely. But at least I feel like as internal, right? People who are selling and producing and making the products, I feel like it's no longer a debate if AV over IP is a thing. Like, clearly it's a thing, guys. Like, let's move on to the next debate. Now we can debate ceiling microphones or whatever else.
When it first came into Infocomm, it's all you saw everywhere. Everyone was talking about their AV over IP solutions, and I don't even think half of them grasped it. But it is good that we've kind of moved to that point, at least to where, okay, this is the way. Yeah, it's like the Mandalorian. This is the way, right? So
Yeah,
now
exactly.
we all have to kind of do the AV over.
Yeah, and shout out to Rob. Shout out to Rob Ziv. He was, we were when I first went to an E4. I was still an end user, and he was doing a presentation over, audio over IP. So he's running through all these different things. I was able to get my Dante certification, and I've been all across the world doing Dante trainings. I even used to work for Audinate. So I mean, it's been a wild ride, but I'm still, still dear to the heart. That AV over IP is here to stay. We got to embrace it. But yeah, Rob Ziv, he's a genius. Shout out to Rob.
He really is. He really is. We keep him locked in a closet here. We don't like that genius. We bring him out for E4s and Infocom. We don't like to let the Rob Ziv genius kind of permeate too much. Brought up Infocom. Any thoughts on Infocom this year that any products stand out or any manufacturer stand out as something that was kind of new, different, or exciting?
Yeah, I mean, Infocom is one of those crazy things for me, right? I don't necessarily get to walk the show floor that much in between like presentations, working the booth, and it's madness. It's madness. But definitely, I'd say this year, with Brightside, I think another thing that our industry loves to debate is AI. And the way we talk about it is more from a standpoint of how does it help us in our daily lives, not necessarily how it is implemented in the hardware or the technology we use. And they actually, they had it working on the show floor, so it was fun to see not this hypothetical kind of perspective of AI in our industry. We were seeing something real on the show floor in real time, and I love nothing more than a in person demo that's showing something that hasn't been done yet. So that was a good time.
Yeah, always an eye opener.
Yep.
Anything new on the horizon for you that you want to share? Anything coming down the path? I know we'll see you in a month or so at E4, right?
Yep, absolutely.
You got Santa Clara coming up.
Always excited for the
Chicago
E4s.
Right after that.
Yep. So I've already started digging through my clothes to get my winter clothes for Chicago, because I'm pretty sure it's not, every time we go there, man, I'm freezing. But yeah, definitely looking forward to the E4s. Those are always a highlight of my year, hanging out with, Almo family, just getting out there, having some fun, talking about what you are doing and how you impact our industry. So that's always fun. Lots of more content coming. I think I've been ramping up. So there's a lot coming. That's all I can say. There's a lot coming, and I'm excited to work with some amazing brands.
I do have to take issue. Didn't you say you're from Connecticut? How can you find Chicago cold if you're originally from Connecticut? You've already transitioned? You're a Southerner already? It's out of your blood. You don't have the Northern blood anymore?
No, I moved from Connecticut when I was 18. So, I mean, born and raised there, graduated high school, and then we moved to Houston, and then I moved to Florida, and now I just moved back to Houston. So, yeah, leave me out of the cold conversation. I prefer hot pools and beaches.
Yeah, we have that for about 2 months here, and then the rest of the year you're pretty much fighting.
Yeah,
fighting
I'm not
rest,
a fan of it anymore. I'm very strategic about when I visit back home.
I'm not looking forward to this year. So my wife and I are about to become empty nesters. My son is moving, so that means that the process of removing snow from the driveway falls entirely on me and with no help.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
not
See, I
looking
don't miss
forward to
that.
that this winter. That is for sure.
Well,
That is
try
for
to stay
sure.
warm. Don't slip. Put your ice down, and I mean, try to stay warm, dude. You guys got it pretty hard last year. Well, every year. It's
I
Buffalo.
don't recall a year that we don't get it pretty hard usually. So it's the way it works. And if you're from Buffalo, you kind of accept it. But I still wear shorts pretty much year round, so that hasn't changed from my high school and college days. My kids all do the same thing, so they're knuckleheads like me. So I've passed that down. Again, very excited to have you here. Anything else you want to share with us? Anything you can, any words of wisdom for somebody that might be new to the industry? I really try and gear these towards folks that might just be entering the AV industry. Anything, you want to impart some words of wisdom on some young folks out there? By all means, this is your platform to do it.
I would say leverage your platform. Leverage your platform, but also utilize the platforms that are free, right? So training, I talked about leveraging my technical background. That's still a very much part of my everyday initiative, right? Stay learning, keep learning. There's lots of free trainings. E4 is always one in your backyard, and it's free, right? Dante training is free. It's a lot of training out here that you could build your foundation on for free. So don't let it sit there.
Love the Dante training. I did all three. Of all three, the third one was my favorite because that was the one where you got to kind of play with things and make all the connections. But yeah, fantastic advice for those folks out there. I mean, literally any manufacturer that you talk about, Legrand has a great portal for learning. ClickShare, who I represent, they have some great stuff on there if you ever want to learn more about the ClickShare device. And you mentioned something about having it in front of you. Open a box and connect something, see how it works, see how everything plays together. It's really the only way that you're going to find out anything. You can read as much as you want, but until you actually touch something and kind of get in there, that's the way I learn. It's a lot easier for me to actually do it, which is, I think, why I like that level 3 of the Dante so much, because you're allowed to interact with it a little bit more. So, well, I really appreciate your time. Thank you again for coming, and we will see you at Santa Clara.
Hey, anytime. Can't wait to see what sneakers you're rocking this time.
I've got some. I got some bears ready to go. I've got some really, really good. As I get older, I mean, got to have a shoe game, right? I mean, I can't do much else, but I can at least step up my shoe game and improve on my wrestling t-shirts. That's about what I got left.
So. Well, awesome. I look forward to seeing you at the team.
So much. Awesome to have you on, and hopefully we can do it again someday.
Likewise. Thank you.